Chosen one. Stop everything. This moment is not random. Heaven has paused the noise around you because you are meant to hear this. You are not like the rest. You were never designed to blend in. You are the marked one. And right now, God Himself presses a divine interruption into your timeline. Do not think for a second that this is coincidence. Every distraction, every notification, every reason to scroll away is silenced so you can receive this word. Listen carefully. Your life is at a threshold. You have felt it deep in your spirit. That pulling sensation in your chest. Something has been stirring in the atmosphere. This is not anxiety, not imagination. It is heaven tugging at you, calling you into remembrance of who you are. You were not placed on this earth to simply survive. You were chosen to carry a light that cannot be extinguished. The very reason you've been attacked more than others is because your calling carries more weight than most. Every night of tears, every battle that no one saw, has been part of your preparation. And though the world may overlook you, God has not. He has been watching, keeping record of every step, every sacrifice, every prayer whispered in silence. He has not forgotten you. Chosen one. I must tell you this. The heaviness you carry is not proof of defeat, but proof of assignment. You were trusted with storms because you are destined to command seas. The enemy would not rage so violently against you if there were not something priceless hidden within you. Do you not see? The very intensity of the attacks against you is a mirror of the magnitude of your calling. Today, on this Friday, God says pause. Stop running. Stop doubting. Stop scrolling away. Because this is the day marked in eternity to remind you you are His. You were never abandoned. You were never forsaken. Even when you felt forgotten, Heaven whispered your name. Beloved chosen one. Your pain has been a classroom. Every disappointment, every betrayal, every closed door was shaping you into the vessel you are today. You thought it was punishment, but it was preparation. Heaven has been equipping you in secret so that when the hour came, you would stand unshaken, carrying authority no one can deny. You wondered why the people you trusted could not stay. It was not rejection, but redirection. God was removing voices that could not travel with you into the next season. You were not meant to be surrounded by the crowd, but carried by His hand. The loneliness you felt was God's way of setting you apart for holiness and purpose. Chosen one. Pause and recognize this truth. Storms reveal foundations. When the winds blew against your life, the enemy thought you would crumble. But you are still here, and your survival is not small. It is evidence that Heaven's hand holds you. What others called weakness, God calls resilience, and it announces your destiny to the unseen realm. As the prophet Isaiah recorded in chapter 40, verse 31, those who hope in the Lord will renew strength, soar on eagle's wings, run, not grow weary. That is your portion, not weakness, not defeat, not endless cycles of pain. Your portion is renewal, soaring, rising higher when others collapse. That is why the word comes to you now, because you are on the edge of weariness. But heaven says, strength is coming. Listen carefully. There are two paths before you. One is distraction, delay, and compromise the path of those who ignore the knock of God at their heart. The other is obedience, surrender, and glory. And this message is not just a gentle suggestion, it is a divine intervention. If you walk away from this, you are choosing blindness over breakthrough. But if you yield, if you pause and listen, then strength will flood you in ways you never imagined. Do not say, "I'll do it tomorrow." Tomorrow is not promised. This is the hour to awaken. You are not scrolling by mistake. You are being summoned. And I need you to respond. Heaven waits for your agreement. Right here. Right now. If this word has pierced you, I invite you, like this message, share it so others marked like you may find it. And subscribe so you never miss another word aligned with your calling. But most of all, declare your agreement in the comments. Type the number 777 as a prophetic sign that you receive this word and step into your destiny. You are chosen. You are called. You are marked. And heaven is speaking directly to you today. Chosen one. Think of the weight you have carried, the hidden struggles no one else has seen, the quiet nights where tears stained your pillow, when you whispered prayers into the silence and felt like no one answered. These are not wasted moments. They are the silent records of heaven's witness to your perseverance. You thought you were forgotten, but those hidden tears have been gathered like jewels before the throne of God. There is something sacred about battles fought in silence. People often mistake your quietness for weakness, but they do not know the depth of strength it takes to endure without recognition. The unseen weight you bore is not ordinary. It was entrusted to you because you are extraordinary. Heaven never asks of its chosen ones what it does not first empower them to survive. Beloved, every sleepless night, every sigh of exhaustion was training. When others broke under pressure, you pressed forward. When others compromised to escape the fire, you chose integrity, even though it cost you. The weight you carried was not punishment. It was evidence that you were trusted with more than most. This is why the world has misunderstood you. Why even those close to you could not always comprehend the path you were walking. Do you remember the moments when you felt completely abandoned, when even prayer seemed hollow, yet somehow, despite your emptiness, you kept moving forward? That persistence was not your strength alone. It was the Spirit of God upholding you. Even when you did not recognize His hand, the fact that you are still here is living proof that you were never forsaken. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 5 and 6, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean on your own understanding. He will make paths straight. This is the truth that carried you when you did not know where to go. You leaned not on your own wisdom, but on the whisper of faith. You pressed on when logic said to stop. You trusted even when you did not see the way. And heaven rewarded that trust by keeping your path alive when it should have collapsed. Chosen one. Let this sink in. What you carried was not ordinary sorrow, but sacred preparation. The valleys you walked were not detours, but the training grounds of destiny. Every tear watered the soil of your future, and every scar became the mark of an overcomer. You are not weaker because of your trials. You are heavier with authority because of them. Consider how gold is tested in fire. The more intense the flame, the purer the outcome. Likewise, your trials have purified you. They have burned away illusions, cut away dependencies, and stripped you down to the essence of who you are in God. You carry a resilience that cannot be fabricated. You are proof that storms cannot drown what heaven has ordained to rise. Many have watched you from the outside and wondered how you survived. Some even assumed you would never recover, that your story had ended in silence. Yet here you are, still breathing, still standing, still chosen. Your resilience confounds those who doubted you, because what sustains you is invisible to them. They see only the wounds, but heaven sees the warrior rising. Do not despise the weight you carried, for it was the key to unlocking your authority. The deeper the valley, the higher the mountain you are called to climb. What you endured has positioned you to speak into the lives of others with authenticity, because you know what it means to be broken, yet not destroyed. Your testimony carries power, not because it is flawless, but because it is real. Chosen one, lift your head. What you carried in silence is about to be revealed as strength. The very things you thought disqualified you are the things that qualify you. Others may have mocked your pain, but heaven crowns it with honor. You are not defined by what you lost. You are defined by what you survived. Remember this truth: the weight was never meant to crush you, only to shape you. And now, you are stepping into a season where the burdens you bore become the blessings you release. What was once your valley will become your voice. What was once your pain will become your platform. You have carried enough, and now heaven says it is time to step forward lighter, stronger, and more certain of who you are. The Spirit who sustained you in silence is now preparing to reveal your victory openly. Chosen one, you have felt it again and again, the sting of being misunderstood. People you loved looked at you and could not recognize the depth of your spirit. They saw your actions, but never your intentions. They judged your silence, misread your fire, and mistook your separation for arrogance. But what they could not see is that you were never called to fit their mold. You were set apart. You were marked. And to those who cannot discern the Spirit of God resting on you, your uniqueness will always appear strange. That is why you have been pushed aside, why friendships dissolved, why rooms you should have belonged to suddenly became suffocating. Heaven did not allow you to blend in because your calling is not ordinary, it is divine. Every time you tried to explain yourself, words failed. They looked at you with suspicion. They whispered behind your back. They called you too intense, too emotional, too radical. But you know deep within that you are not too much. You are exactly what heaven designed. It is not exaggeration, it is anointing. It is not strangeness, it is consecration. Many cannot recognize the anointing on your life because it confronts what they have settled for. Your very existence challenges their compromise. That is why they resist you. Not because you are wrong, but because you are right. Heaven's fire in you reveals their lukewarmness, and they feel exposed. Chosen one, do not let their rejection make you question your worth. The discomfort they feel around you is not your burden to carry, it is their invitation to change. You are a mirror reflecting what they hide. Your role is not to fit in, but to remind them who they could become. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Do you see it? Even before breath entered your lungs, you were set apart. Before anyone had a chance to misunderstand you, God already understood you. That is why you cannot walk the path of the crowd. That is why the things others can do without guilt weigh heavily on your conscience. You are consecrated, and consecration always carries separation. Chosen one, I know this separation has cut deep. Loneliness has followed you like a shadow. At times you even begged God to make you normal, to allow you to just blend in and be accepted. But heaven did not call you to be comfortable. Heaven called you to be chosen. The pain of rejection has only served to shape you into the very one who will bring direction to those who rejected you. The reason your presence unsettles others is because your spirit carries light. Darkness trembles when you walk in the room. Those who have not yet surrendered to truth feel exposed around you. Do not mistake their distance as your deficiency. Their discomfort is confirmation of your calling. Chosen one. It is time to embrace the truth. Your life is not meant to be explained to everyone, only expressed through obedience. Those who are meant to understand will recognize you by the Spirit, not by the flesh. Your validation does not come from people, but from the one who chose you before time began. And here is what I ask of you now. Respond. Do not let this word wash over you without agreement. Leave a mark in this moment. Type these 3 words in the comments. I am chosen. Then, why these words? Because there is power in declaration. Heaven responds to bold confessions of faith. The moment you write it, you align yourself publicly with your divine identity. You silence the lies that have told you otherwise. You break the power of rejection and replace it with the truth of election. So many have believed the enemy's narrative about their life because they never declared God's narrative. But you, chosen one, must say it aloud, must type it, must agree with it. I am chosen. With every letter, you stamp your destiny against the lies of the accuser. Your uniqueness is not a curse, it is a crown. Your rejection is not abandonment, it is redirection. Your silence is not emptiness, it is the training ground of God's voice. From this day forward, do not apologize for being different. Do not shrink back to make others comfortable. The same God who set you apart before birth is now calling you to rise into visibility. You are not forgotten, not abandoned, not mistaken. You are chosen. And every misunderstanding you endured is proof that heaven has placed something on you that the world cannot explain. Embrace it. Beloved, declare it, and walk boldly into the identity that was written over you before the foundations of the world. Chosen one. Pause and take in this truth. Days are not random, and moments are not accidents. This very Friday is not like other days. It is not just another point on a calendar or a passing breath of time. It is a divine appointment written into eternity before you even knew how to count the hours. There are times when heaven marks a moment, stamping it with significance that no human can erase. This is one of those times. You may have thought this day was ordinary, filled with the same routines, the same struggles, the same cycle of waking and sleeping. Yet heaven looks at this Friday and says, "This is the day I will speak. This is the day I will remind them of who they are." You cannot treat this lightly, because God does not waste words. If He pauses your world to whisper, if He slows your steps to speak, it means something eternal hangs in the balance. The interruption of heaven is always strategic. Nothing about this moment is coincidental. Every breath you are taking right now is aligned with the divine rhythm of heaven's timing. Chosen one, look back at your journey. You will notice that certain moments stand out like fire in your memory. Days when everything shifted. Days when clarity came. Days when breakthrough broke chains you thought would never snap. This Friday is carved from the same stone. It carries the same weight. It is not just a day, it is an altar, a marker in your destiny. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14. Verse 14, the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Beloved, do you see the strategy of heaven here? This Friday is not about doing more, it is about surrendering more. It is not about proving yourself, but about remembering who fights for you. You have been running, striving, trying to hold everything together with trembling hands. God says, stop. Stop exhausting yourself. Stop believing you must earn my presence. Stop thinking you have to figure everything out alone. This day, this moment, is consecrated to stillness. It is a holy pause. Heaven presses on your heart, not to weigh you down, but to lift the weight from you, to fight battles you cannot fight, to silence enemies you cannot silence, to open doors you cannot even reach. The stillness of surrender is the highest expression of faith. Think of the Red Sea moment when Israel stood trapped between water and Pharaoh's army. Their panic was real, their fear overwhelming. Yet in that moment, God did not tell them to plan or to strategize. He told them to stand still and watch. The deliverance of that day came not from their strength, but from His intervention. This Friday carries the same call. Stand still. Watch. Heaven is moving. Chosen one. It is no accident that you are hearing this right now. Something in your life has reached a breaking point, and you have been tempted to force your way forward. You have thought of compromising, of bending under the weight, of giving up the promise. Heaven interrupts today to remind you, do not surrender the crown for the comfort of relief. The God who chose you is the same God who fights for you. This Friday is marked because it is a pivot point. The burden you have carried is about to shift. The heaviness in your spirit is about to lift. The confusion that clouded your vision is about to clear. All heaven requires of you is this stillness. Trust. Surrender. This is not weakness, it is alignment. Chosen one. Never forget that divine appointments rarely feel dramatic in the moment. They often come in quiet whispers, in gentle nudges, in pauses that feel ordinary but carry eternity in their breath. That is what today is. You may not feel fireworks, but the heavens are recording your obedience. The simple act of listening, the simple act of pausing, shifts atmospheres around you. Do not despise this day. It may look like an ordinary Friday, but in the realm of the Spirit, it is a mountain, a memorial, a marker. Years from now, you will look back and say, that was the day heaven pressed pause, and everything began to shift. Oh, this is why God says stop, not to delay you, but to align you, not to rob you, but to restore you, not to confuse you, but to crown you with clarity. This is the day He whispers, be still, for I am fighting for you. Chosen one. Step into the stillness. Let heaven fight. And mark this Friday in your heart as the day heaven's hand touched your story in a way you will never forget. Chosen one. Your light terrifies darkness. It has always been so. You wondered why the attacks came so fiercely, why the resistance seemed unending, why people turned against you without cause. It is because the enemy recognized your light even before you fully understood it yourself. Darkness fears what it cannot extinguish. Every time you walk into a room, atmospheres shift, chains tremble, Plans of destruction are unsettled, and though you may not always see it, the unseen realm sees you clearly. They see the flame that has been entrusted to you. This is why you have felt like a target, because light is always attacked by darkness. Think of a lighthouse standing at the edge of a storm-tossed sea. Waves crash violently against its walls. Winds howl as if determined to topple it. Yet the lighthouse stands, because its purpose is not to hide from storms, but to shine through them, guiding lost ships home. You, chosen one, are that lighthouse. You are not attacked because you are weak, but because your light carries guidance for others who are lost in the storm. Do not despise the battle. It is proof of your assignment. A tree that bears no fruit attracts no attention, but one heavy with fruit is often shaken and struck. The pressure you face is not evidence of God's absence, but confirmation of your divine harvest. The enemy shakes because your life carries nourishment for others. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 6, for God, who said, "Let light shine out of darkness," made his light shine in our hearts to give us the light of the knowledge of God's glory displayed in the face of Christ. And that is the mystery within you. Heaven's own light resides in your heart. You may see yourself as fragile, but within you burns the flame of eternity. That flame terrifies darkness, not because of you alone, but because of who dwells in you. Beloved, I must speak to you with sincerity now. This light is not just for you, it is for others. Just as a candle does not hoard its flame, but shares it freely, your calling is meant to illuminate paths for those stumbling in shadows. And here is where I humbly ask of you something deeper. When you like this message, it is more than a click. It is as if you are lifting your candle higher, letting others see its glow. When you share it, you are placing your lamp on a hill, making sure the light reaches further than your own circle. When you subscribe, it is like returning to the fire again and again, to keep your flame strong. And if God stirs your heart to donate, know this: your seed is oil for the lamp. Just as lamps in ancient days could only burn with oil, your support becomes the oil that allows this light to keep shining, to keep reaching those who sit in darkness. It is not about obligation, it is about participation in spreading light. Think of it like this: every act of generosity, whether a like, a share, a subscription, or a gift, becomes another spark. Sparks together ignite bonfires, and bonfires in the spirit chase away the thickest darkness. You may think your action is small, but no spark is wasted in the kingdom. Chosen one, never underestimate how your agreement amplifies the message. Alone, a single voice is like one drop of rain, but together, drops form rivers that carve valleys, that flood deserts, that give life to barren places. Your engagement is not empty, it is water for thirsty souls. The darkness has tried to convince you that your contribution does not matter, that your voice is too small, that your support changes nothing. But remember, even mustard seeds move mountains. Even 5 loaves fed thousands. Even one widow's oil filled every jar. When you act in faith, heaven multiplies it. You are part of something larger than yourself. Each act of engagement is like joining a great army of light bearers, marching together into the night. Alone, a candle flickers. Together, candles blaze into a horizon no darkness can withstand. So let your heart respond in whatever way the Spirit stirs. Lift your light higher. Share it further. Keep coming back to the flame. Pour oil into the lamp. Every action carries eternal weight when it comes from obedience and love. Chosen one. Remember, the storm around you rages because your light is dangerous to darkness. Do not hide it. Do not minimize it. Shine boldly, because heaven entrusted it to you for this exact hour. Chosen one. Listen carefully. There are times when heaven releases signs into the earth, markers that carry weight beyond human logic. These signs are not accidents. They are divine codes, prophetic seals of alignment. And right now, God is asking you to align not only with His word, but also with His appointed confirmation. From the beginning, God has used numbers to mark His covenant with His people. 7 days of creation, 12 tribes of Israel, 40 years of wilderness. Numbers are never empty. They carry prophetic symbolism. They are heaven's way of placing fingerprints on the timeline of human history. Chosen one. This is why you must not ignore what is being whispered to your spirit today. The number being released to you now is not just arithmetic, it is a prophetic act. By declaring it, you are saying to heaven and to earth, I align, I receive, I walk in step with what has been spoken. Many do not understand this. But when you type a prophetic number, it is more than letters on a screen. It is covenant. It is the same as building an altar in the wilderness, marking the place where heaven spoke to you. It is not superstition, it is spiritual alignment. When you declare it, you are not just joining a moment, you are entering a movement. Just as Jacob set a stone at Bethel to remember the voice of God, your declaration becomes a stone of remembrance. It is proof that you heard, that you received, and that you obeyed. Chosen one. Think of it as planting a seed. A seed looks small, yet in the soil it carries forests. Your prophetic number works the same. It may appear simple, but in the realm of the Spirit, it roots you deeper, preparing a harvest greater than you can imagine. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 9. Know therefore that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God, keeping His covenant of love to 1,000 generations of those who love Him and keep His commandments. End of 2. This is why prophetic numbers matter. They are reminders of covenant. They are symbols of His faithfulness across generations. And when you engage with them, you step into the same stream of blessing that has flowed through His people since ancient days. Beloved, do not miss this moment. Darkness is terrified of your alignment because agreement activates authority. The enemy would prefer you to stay silent, scrolling past as though this were any other word. But heaven is asking you to leave a mark, to type the prophetic number 444 as a sign of covenant and faith. Why 444? Because it represents stability, foundation, and the unshakable nature of God's promises. 4 corners of the earth, 4 winds from which the Spirit gathers, 4 walls of the altar where fire falls. When you declare 444, you are testifying that your life is anchored, your path is secure, and your covenant is unbreakable. Type it boldly. 444. This is not random. It is a prophetic echo of your agreement. You are saying, I am grounded. I am unshaken. I am part of a covenant that stretches into eternity. End of. Chosen one. Understand the weight of this act. Every time you write it, It reverberates in the unseen. Angels see it. Demons tremble at it. Heaven records it. You may think it is small, but it is not. It is as if you are engraving your name upon the altar of faith once again. You have carried so much, endured storms that should have silenced you. But today, heaven does not ask for your strength, only your agreement. By typing this prophetic number, you declare that your alignment is not with fear, not with despair, not with compromise, but with covenant. This is not for everyone. It is only for the chosen ones who recognize the sound of heaven when it calls. And if your heart burns as you hear these words, then you know this call is yours. Do not delay. Do not question. Type it. Declare it. Align with it. Remember, the act is simple, but the impact is eternal. Just as Abraham built altars of stone, you build altars of faith with your declaration. Just as Israel marked their doors with blood, you mark your heart with covenant. Just as prophets lifted banners, you lift your number. It is not ritual, it is remembrance. Chosen one. Type 444. With faith, and let it echo into your atmosphere. It is your seal, your alignment, your covenant, and heaven will honor it. Chosen one. The edge of mercy is closer than many realize. There is a thin line between grace extended and grace withdrawn, between doors wide open and doors that silently close. And right now, heaven urges you to pay attention because your choices in this hour are shaping eternal consequences. Do not mistake God's patience for his absence. Mercy has held you. Mercy has shielded you. Mercy has delayed judgments you deserved. But mercy is not endless indulgence. It is a window meant to draw you back, to awaken you, to shake you free from the chains of compromise. That window does not stay open forever. There is a weight that comes with being chosen. You cannot play with what others treat lightly. You cannot delay in the same way others do. The very fact that you are marked means you are held to a higher standard. Heaven's hand upon your life is both privilege and responsibility. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, Hebrews chapter 10, verse 26 declares, "If we deliberately keep on sinning after we have received the knowledge of the truth, no sacrifice for sins is left." And chosen one. These words are not threats, they are truth. The edge of mercy is not meant to terrify you, but to awaken you. It is heaven saying, "Do not gamble with grace. Do not mistake my patience for permission." Grace is a gift, but rebellion squanders it. Think of a cliff edge. From a distance, it looks stable, harmless even. But one step too far, and the ground crumbles beneath your feet. This is how compromise works. It does not announce itself loudly, it lures you softly, step by step, until suddenly you are dangling over emptiness. Heaven is warning you, because you are too precious to lose. The Spirit stirs urgently, because one more compromise, one more willful disobedience, one more surrender to temptation can numb your heart. Blindness does not arrive in a single moment. It seeps in slowly, hardening the spirit, silencing conviction, until light no longer reaches you. Chosen one. Recall the times you felt God's whisper so clearly, the moments when conviction pierced you, when tears fell at the mere mention of his presence. That sensitivity was a gift. Do not allow it to be dulled by neglect. Every time you ignore conviction, you silence the voice that saves. Mercy is stepping back, not because God has abandoned you, but because he will not force himself where he is continually rejected. Mercy pleads, warns, intercedes. But when rebellion continues, mercy allows you to taste the consequences you insisted on choosing. It is never what God desires, but he respects the freedom he gave you. Beloved, you stand at the edge. The Spirit is pleading, step back. Do not test how far mercy stretches. Do not play with what is sacred. Every rebellion is a thread cutting your tether to clarity, pulling you toward blindness. Heaven warns you now so that you do not fall. And yet, even as this warning comes, so does hope. Conviction itself is a gift. The fact that your heart can still be stirred, that you still feel the pull to listen, is evidence the door has not shut. Grace still extends its hand. The cliff is near, but so is the path of safety. Chosen one, take this seriously. If you have been delaying obedience, stop delaying. If you have been playing with compromise, stop playing. If you have been silencing conviction, stop silencing it. You are chosen, and chosen ones cannot afford to gamble with mercy. There is a greater call over your life, a call that demands separation. The weight of glory you are meant to carry requires surrender now. Heaven has too much invested in you to allow you to waste your destiny at the edge of rebellion. That is why this word arrives with urgency. Think of Jonah, who ran from his assignment. The storm that followed was not to destroy him, but to redirect him. The edge of mercy is not about punishment, but preservation. God allows storms to wake the chosen before they are lost to the waves. The warning is severe because the calling is sacred. Chosen one, feel the weight, but also the love in this. Heaven does not warn those it has abandoned. Heaven warns those it refuses to lose. That is why you hear this message now, because you are still redeemable, still reachable, still marked by covenant. Do not flirt with the edge any longer. Step back. Step into obedience. Step into safety. Mercy is still extended, but it will not wait forever. Take hold of it while it is here, for tomorrow is never guaranteed. And know this, when you step back into alignment, heaven will not greet you with condemnation, but with restoration. The Father runs to meet prodigals. The shepherd rejoices over the one sheep returned. The edge of mercy is not meant to scare you away, but to guide you back home before it is too late. Chosen one, the window is open. Step through it while there is still time. Chosen one, think of the fire you have survived. Flames that others thought would consume you only refined you. Trials that should have ended your story became the very chapters that prepared you. You are not standing here by luck. You are standing here because heaven walked with you through the fire and did not let it destroy you. Every scar you carry is not evidence of defeat, but of survival. Each mark left by pain is a testimony that the flames bowed to the hand of God. What others thought would be the end was only the beginning of your transformation. The fire was never meant to kill you. It was meant to reveal you. Remember how gold is purified. It is placed in fire, not to be destroyed, but to be refined. Impurities rise. Weaknesses are exposed, and what remains is stronger, purer, more radiant. Chosen one. That is your story. The battles you endured were the refining fire of heaven. shaping you into a vessel that carries weight and authority in the Spirit. The fire stripped away what could not remain. Friendships, habits, and illusions burned until only truth endured. Though it hurt, that loss was mercy, for heaven refuses to let the temporary cling to the eternal. You emerged lighter, carrying only what aligns with your divine assignment and destiny. Chosen one. Flames revealed your foundation, while others collapsed in smoke. You discovered the solid rock beneath your feet. Every trial taught you to stand unshaken, not because you are invincible, but because you are upheld. Fire became your teacher, molding your heart into one that trusts fully in God's unchanging strength. The Word of God declares in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 2, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze." This is the testimony written over your life. You walked through waters that tried to drown you. You walked through rivers that threatened to sweep you away. You walked through fire that burned hot against your soul. Yet here you are not drowned, not swept away, not consumed. That is because you are chosen, and chosen ones cannot be destroyed by the very elements designed to refine them. Beloved, do you remember the nights you thought you would not survive? The moments when the fire pressed so close you could feel its heat in your spirit. You thought it was the end, yet in the silence, a presence stood with you. That presence was not absent in the flames, it was revealed in the flames. Consider Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, thrown into the furnace for refusing to bow. The fire did not destroy them, it only revealed the fourth man walking with them. Chosen one. Your furnace moments were not abandonment, but revelation. In the heat of trial, God was closer than he ever seemed in comfort. And now, look at you, stronger, wiser, more discerning. The fire stripped away illusions. It burned out shallow attachments. It refined your priorities. You are not the same person who entered the flames. You emerged, marked, transformed, carrying an anointing that only fire could unlock. Do not despise the fire you endured. It is the reason you can speak with authority now. It is why your prayers carry weight. It is why your presence unsettles darkness. The enemy regrets ever testing you, because what he thought would break you only built you. Chosen one. People may see your strength now and think it came easily. They do not see the fire that forged it. They do not see the tears that watered it. They do not see the nights of silence when you almost gave up. But heaven sees, and heaven honors. The fire did not come to destroy you, it came to prepare you. Every great vessel of God passes through flames. Moses faced wilderness, fire. David endured the furnace of rejection. Esther stood in the fire of risk. You are not alone in this story. The chosen are always tested so that their testimony carries eternal weight. And now, what once burned you has become your mantle. You carry a resilience that cannot be taught in classrooms or learned from books. It was forged in heat, pressed in silence, revealed in endurance. You are a living testimony that flames may rise, but they will not consume what God has marked. So lift your head, chosen one. The fire you survived is the crown you now carry. What the enemy meant for evil, heaven has turned for glory. What tried to kill you only revealed the indestructible life within you. You are not a victim of fire, you are a victor, crowned by it. Chosen one. Never forget, the fire was not your end. It was your unveiling. Chosen one. The crown awaits. All the battles, all the nights of tears, all the storms you endured, they were never random. They were preparing you for a coronation. You have been walking through fire not to be destroyed, but to be crowned. The crown of destiny rests just ahead, waiting for your decision to claim it. This is why the pressure has been so intense. Crowns are never handed out casually. They are given to those who endure. You have endured storms that others could not bear. You have stood when others collapsed. You have believed when others mocked. Every step has been leading you to this moment, the moment of decision. The weight pressing on you now is not punishment but preparation. Pressure shapes crowns just as fire forges gold. What feels unbearable is the final stretch before glory. Heaven would not allow this intensity unless something priceless waited on the other side, your coronation as God's chosen one. The prophet Elijah spoke, as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 21. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. If Baal, then follow him. Chosen one. You cannot sit between two thrones. You cannot live half in obedience and half in compromise. The crown demands your loyalty. You must choose whom you will serve. To delay is to lose. To compromise is to disqualify yourself. This is the hour to decide. Think of a runner at the finish line. Muscles ache, lungs burn, sweat pours, but the crown is just ahead. Would it make sense to stop now, to surrender when victory is so close? No. The wise press forward. They fix their eyes on the crown and push through the pain. That is where you are now, at the threshold, with glory within reach. The crown is not ornamental, it is functional. It is not jewelry, it is authority. When heaven places a crown on your head, it is entrusting you with influence, with weight, with spiritual responsibility. The crown signifies not only victory, but stewardship. To wear it is to walk in divine purpose. This is why darkness has tried to convince you to quit. The enemy fears the moment you embrace your crown, he knows your authority will break chains. Your obedience will open doors. Your voice will silence lies. He has tried to bury you in discouragement so that you would never lift your head to receive it. But look up, chosen one. Your crown awaits. Heaven holds it ready, polished with your tears, forged in your fire, shaped by your scars. It is not given to the untested, it is reserved for those who have endured. You are not empty-handed. You are about to be crowned. And now, beloved, I ask something simple but powerful of you. Write in the comments these 3 words. Crown me, Lord. And please, do you see the weight of that? It is more than a sentence. It is surrender. It is declaration. It is saying, I am ready to lay down excuses and pick up responsibility. I am ready to stop wavering and to step into my calling. Those 3 words are not casual. They are covenant. Every time you type it, heaven records it. You are telling God, I will no longer run from who I am. I will embrace the weight of being chosen, place the crown upon me, and I will wear it with obedience. Do not underestimate the power of such a declaration. You may feel unworthy. You may feel too broken. But hear this, crowns are never earned. They are given. They are gifts of grace. Your scars do not disqualify you. They qualify you. The cracks in your vessel make room for His glory to shine through. When you declare, "Crown me, Lord," you are not claiming perfection. You are claiming surrender. The moment you agree, something shifts. You rise taller in the Spirit. You walk with new authority. You carry a weight that cannot be explained in human terms. People will look at you and wonder what changed, not realizing that the unseen crown now rests on your life. Chosen one, do not delay. Do not second guess. Heaven is holding your crown, and all it asks is that you reach out with obedience and declare your readiness. Say it. Write it. Mean it. Let the unseen world hear it thunder from your spirit. Crown me, Lord. And when you do, walk forward, knowing that no one can strip from you what heaven has placed on you. You are chosen, crowned, and commissioned for such a time as this. Chosen one. Weapons have been formed against you. Schemes whispered in shadows. Traps set in silence. Plans designed to break your spirit. And yet, you are still here. Do you know why? Because what is formed does not always prosper. The hand that shapes the weapon is not stronger than the God who shields you. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 10, verse 19, "I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions, overcome all enemy power. Nothing will harm you." That is your heritage. It means weapons may exist, but they cannot execute their purpose. Arrows may be aimed, but they will miss their target. Words may rear against you, but they will fall powerless. The covenant over your life guarantees not immunity from battle, but victory through it. Think of a shield in battle. The warrior does not avoid the arrows. He lifts his shield and watches them break against it. That is you. Every fiery dart meant to pierce you collides with the covering of God. You do not stand exposed. You stand protected. Beloved, I must speak plainly. The battles you face are not always visible. Sometimes the weapon is discouragement. Sometimes it is a whisper of doubt. Sometimes it is the weight of financial strain or the silence of friends who turned away. But each one, though real, is still powerless under the covenant. You may feel weary, as though the constant barrage is eroding your strength. Yet what you must remember is that every attack resisted becomes another testimony. Every dart deflected becomes another scar that proves you survived. Every scheme that failed becomes another chapter of God's faithfulness written into your story. This is why I speak to you sincerely now. If this message carries weight in your spirit, do not let it remain here alone. Lift your voice in support, like the lifting of a shield. When you like this word, it is as though you are saying, "This shield is not just mine. I want others to carry it too." When you share it, you extend the covering. Imagine a campfire burning on a cold night. One person may be warmed, but when the fire is spread, more are saved from the chill. Your share is that spreading flame, guiding others into the warmth of God's protection. And when you subscribe, it is as though you return to the armory, again and again, to be replenished, to be sharpened, to be equipped for the battles yet ahead. You cannot fight with yesterday's strength alone. You need fresh words, fresh fire, fresh faith. If heaven stirs your heart to give, Know this: your donation is not mere currency. It is like placing iron into the forge, shaping more shields, more swords, more armor for those who feel defenseless. Every seed becomes spiritual equipment for others to withstand their battles. You are not just supporting a voice, you are arming an army. Consider a vineyard. Each vine is small on its own, but together they produce a harvest that sustains many. Your act, whether a like, a share, a subscription, or a donation, is like tending the vineyard. One small action multiplies into wine that refreshes souls, into fruit that endures. Chosen one, your role in this is not passive. You are not a bystander. You are part of a greater movement of light-bearers rising across the earth. When you engage, you are building the wall higher, brick by brick, ensuring that no weapon can breach the fortress surrounding God's chosen. Do it not out of obligation, but out of overflow, not because you must, but because you know what it is like to stand exposed, and you want others to find covering too. Generosity is the language of the chosen. It says, "What I have received, I will not hoard. I will pass it on." And remember, every action carries eternal weight when done in faith. Just as the widow's mite became a story echoing through generations, your smallest step of support becomes a ripple that touches lives you may never see. What you offer is not forgotten. It is recorded in heaven. So, stand tall. Chosen one, the weapons may form, but they will not prosper. You are shielded, sustained, and supported. And as you join your strength with others through engagement and generosity, the fortress grows stronger, the light shines brighter, and the testimony resounds louder. No weapon formed against you shall prevail. Chosen one, the call to separation is heavy upon your life. You have always known, even if you tried to ignore it, that you were never designed to blend in. There is a line drawn by heaven, and those who are chosen cannot stand with one foot in the world and one foot in the kingdom. You are set apart, and heaven requires you to live like it. It is tempting to compromise, to dim your light so that others feel comfortable, to soften your convictions so that you are accepted. But each time you do, something in your spirit aches. That ache is not condemnation. It is the voice of destiny whispering, "This is not who you are." The writings of the Apostle Peter, in his first letter, chapter 2, verse 9, remind us, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light." End of chosen one. Do you see? You were not simply invited into faith. You were pulled out of darkness for a reason. You are not ordinary. You are royal. You are not overlooked. You are treasured. And with that identity comes the call to separation. Separation does not mean arrogance. It does not mean despising others. It means living with a clarity that your life is not your own. It means refusing to bow where others bow, refusing to bend where others compromise. It means protecting your anointing even when others mock you for being too different. And think of oil. Oil cannot mix with water. It always rises to the top. That is the picture of your life. No matter how hard you try to blend in, heaven's oil upon you forces you to rise. You are marked to stand out, to carry fragrance, to carry fire. The enemy's greatest strategy is to convince you to dilute yourself, to make you believe that in order to be accepted, you must erase what makes you unique. But dilution kills destiny. When you trade separation for assimilation, you forfeit the very power that sets you apart. Chosen one. There is a cost to holiness, but there is also a glory to it. Yes, you may lose relationships. Yes, you may walk roads that feel lonely, but you will also walk in authority, in clarity, in favor that cannot be explained. The separation others fear is the very place your crown is forged. Remember the Nazarites of old, set apart from birth for sacred purpose. Their separation was visible in how they lived, what they ate, what they touched. In the same way, your life must reflect the consecration of your calling, not by empty rituals, but by a heart so surrendered that everything you do testifies, I belong to God. Chosen one, do not despise your difference, the way you think, the way you sense things, others overlook. The weight you carry, it is all evidence of heaven's fingerprint on you. The discomfort you feel in certain environments is not weakness, it is discernment. Your spirit knows when the atmosphere is not aligned with your calling. There is protection in separation. Many traps you avoided, many battles you survived, were because heaven pulled you away before destruction arrived. You may not have understood it at the time, but the friendships that ended, the doors that closed, the opportunities that vanished were all heaven's way of saying, this is not your path. And chosen one. Holiness is not a cage, it is freedom. It frees you from cycles that bind others. It frees you from weights that suffocate others. It frees you to walk in intimacy with the one who set you apart. The call to separation is not about what you lose, it is about what you gain. And what you gain is priceless. Authority, clarity, peace, favor, and above all, the presence of God resting on your life in ways others only dream of. The world may mock you now, but the day will come when they recognize the oil you carry. Your separation will speak louder than their ridicule. Chosen one. The line has been drawn. Do not step back into shadows that were never meant to hold you. Do not apologize for being marked. Do not hide the fire to make others comfortable in their compromise. Walk boldly in your separation, for it is the very proof that you are chosen. Chosen one. Heaven is not silent concerning you. Every step you have taken has been observed. Every sigh, every prayer, every small act of obedience has been weighed in eternity. You may feel unseen, but you are surrounded. Angelic confirmation has gone before you, and signs align around you to declare you are not walking alone. How many times have you noticed small moments that felt like coincidences? A word spoken at the exact time you needed it. A door opening, just as you thought all doors had closed. A stranger offering kindness when your heart was at its lowest. These were not random, they were divine fingerprints. Heaven has been leaving breadcrumbs along your path, assuring you that you are still guided. Even the delays you resented were confirmations in disguise. Closed doors were not rejection, but redirection. What felt like silence was heaven arranging unseen protection. Every detour has meaning. Every pause has purpose. Chosen one. Your journey is orchestrated with precision far greater than what human eyes can comprehend. The ancient words from the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11, remind us, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." Oh, chosen one, that is your reality. Angels are not myths. They are messengers, protectors, and executors of God's will on your behalf. You are not surrounded by emptiness. You are surrounded by an unseen army. When the enemy planned to ambush you, angels blocked the path. When destruction sought to overtake you, angels stood guard. Your journey has been marked by divine confirmation again and again. Think of Gideon, who doubted his own calling until God confirmed it through signs. The dew on the fleece, the army reduced to 300, the dream overheard in the enemy camp, all were confirmations that heaven was with him. In the same way, your life has been filled with signs that testify God has not abandoned you. And yet, sometimes you dismiss them. You say, "That's just chance. That's just luck." But chosen one, there is no such thing as chance for the chosen. Every detail, every alignment, every whisper is woven into the tapestry of your calling. What you call coincidence, heaven calls covenant. Beloved, here is what I ask of you in this moment. Leave a mark of your agreement. Type the prophetic number 555 inches, the comments below. Why 555? Because it is a number of grace multiplied. A triple reminder that heaven's hand of mercy and guidance is upon you. 5 has always symbolized grace in the language of Scripture. The 5 loaves that fed thousands. The 5 wounds of Christ that brought healing. The 5 books of the Torah that revealed God's heart. When you declare 555, you are saying, "I recognize grace upon grace upon grace covering my path." And type it boldly, 555. Not as superstition, but as alignment. You are declaring that you receive the signs, the confirmations, the guidance heaven has released. You are choosing to see with spiritual eyes, not dismissing divine order as random chance. You are testifying, "I know I am surrounded. I know heaven fights for me." And chosen one, think of how powerful this is. When you declare 555, you are not only recognizing grace, you are multiplying it. You are saying, "The grace that carried me yesterday will also carry me today, and it will still be here tomorrow." You are affirming that your journey is wrapped in layers of mercy, and you will not forget it. Do not underestimate the act. Heaven honors agreement. When you declare 555, you are engraving your yes into the timeline of eternity. Angels see it. Demons fear it. And your own spirit rises in strength because it has acknowledged what is true. Chosen one, pause for a moment. Reflect on the confirmations that have marked your life. The protection you didn't notice at the time, the redirection that saved you from destruction, the still, small voice that spoke when the noise was overwhelming. All of these were heaven's way of saying, "I am with you." And if heaven has carried you this far, do you think it will stop now? No. The same God who aligned yesterday's steps will guide tomorrow's. The same angels who encamped around you in danger will encamp still. The same grace that sustained you will multiply yet again. So, chosen one, lift your eyes. You are not lost, not forgotten, not wandering blindly. You are confirmed, accompanied, and covered. And your declaration of 555 is your seal of agreement with that truth. Type it now. Let it echo. And let your spirit rest in the assurance that heaven is walking beside you. Chosen one. There is a weight in the air, a sense of finality. The Spirit is whispering with urgency. The window of grace does not stay open forever. You have heard the call many times, felt the tug on your heart, seen the signs align around you. But there comes a moment when delay becomes dangerous, when hesitation becomes rebellion, when the door begins to close. This is not spoken to crush you, but to awaken you. Heaven's patience is not permission to drift endlessly. It is mercy extended to pull you back into alignment. Yet if you continually resist, mercy eventually steps aside, and the consequences of your choices rush in. The warnings of God are never empty. They are lifelines thrown to those he refuses to abandon. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13, "Enter through the narrow gate. For wide is the gate, and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it." Chosen one. You know this truth already. You have seen the wide road. You have tasted the emptiness it offers. You have walked with those who chose it, only to watch their joy fade, their clarity vanish, their strength collapse. The broad path looks easy, but its end is ruin. The narrow path looks costly, but its end is life. This is the final warning. You cannot straddle both. You cannot stretch your hands toward the kingdom while keeping your feet planted in compromise. The day will come when the window shuts, when the narrow gate is no longer open, and heaven is pleading with you. Now, do not let that day arrive while you are still undecided. Think of Noah building the ark. For years, people mocked him, laughed at the sight of his obedience. Yet when the rain began to fall, when the waters rose, the laughter ceased. The time of warning ended. The door was shut. Those who hesitated were swept away. That story is not just history, it is prophecy. The same principle stands today. Beloved, heaven's heart is not to condemn you, but to save you from blindness. Every warning is an expression of love. A parent does not watch a child run toward fire without crying out in alarm. In the same way, your Father refuses to stay silent as you stand at the edge of danger. You may think, "I'll change later. I'll surrender when I'm ready." But later is a trap. The enemy whispers it because he knows tomorrow is not guaranteed. He knows the more you delay, the harder your heart becomes. Conviction grows fainter. Clarity fades. And suddenly, you no longer feel the urgency you once did. That is how blindness begins, not with a leap, but with slow drift. Chosen one. Look back at your journey. How many times has God spared you? How many warnings has He given? How many chances has He extended? Each one was mercy. Each one a reminder that you are still loved, still called, still chosen. But even mercy has limits, not because God's love ends, but because rebellion hardens the heart until it cannot hear. Do not let that be your story. Do not gamble with eternity. Do not play with rebellion as if it carries no cost. Heaven is clear. One more step into compromise. One more willful rejection. One more season of ignoring conviction could close the door. The stakes are not temporary, they are eternal. And yet, even here, hope remains. The fact that you are hearing this word means the door is still open. Conviction is still alive. Grace is still extended. You are not too far gone. You are not beyond redemption. The Father still waits with arms open wide, but He will not wait forever. Chosen one. The final warning is not meant to terrify you, but to rescue you. It is the lighthouse flashing before the rocks, the trumpet sounding before the battle, the cry of love before the silence. Do not ignore it. Do not harden your heart. Do not wait for tomorrow. Today is the day of decision. Step back from the edge while there is still time. Run to the narrow gate while it still stands open. Embrace the separation, the calling, the destiny marked for you. For when the door shuts, it will not open again. But if you enter now, life eternal await, and the crown will be yours. Chosen one. Take this word as mercy's final plea. Do not let it pass by. Chosen one. There is a stirring in the heavens, unlike anything you have known before. It is the sound of torchbearers rising. You are part of that company. Those marked ones who refuse to let darkness dictate the story. Where others retreat, you advance. Where others bow, you stand. You were not chosen to hide your light under a basket, but to lift it high for the world to see. The prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 14, "For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea." Chosen one. Do you feel it? That promise is not distant. It is unfolding now through you and others like you. The glory of the Lord will cover the earth, but it will not fall from the sky alone. It will shine through His torchbearers. You are one of them. The light you carry is not accidental. It is intentional. It is designed to pierce the thickest shadows. Consider how a torch functions. A torch is not born to burn quietly in safe places. It is designed to be carried into caves, into darkness, into places where no natural light reaches. That is the picture of your calling. Your life was not meant for comfort zones or sheltered spaces. Your anointing was crafted for places where others are afraid to go. Beloved, do not shrink back when you sense the weight of darkness pressing against you. Darkness only presses because it fears your flame. You carry within you a light that cannot be extinguished, a fire that does not burn out, because its source is not your strength, but God's Spirit. Torchbearers do not rely on their own oil. They are fueled by heaven's supply. Think of Gideon's army. With only 300 men, they carried torches hidden in jars. At the sound of the trumpet, they broke the jars, and suddenly their light flooded the night, throwing the enemy camp into chaos. Chosen one. That is you. You have been hidden, refined in silence, pressed in obscurity. But the moment is coming when your jar will break, and your torch will blaze into sight, scattering the plans of the enemy. You may ask, but why me? Why this weight? Because heaven always entrusts light to those who have walked through shadows themselves. You know what it means to stumble in darkness, to feel lost, to search for hope. That is why your flame is so precious. It is compassion wrapped in fire. You do not carry light for show. You carry it for rescue. Chosen one. Never forget that your flame is contagious. One torch can ignite another, and soon a wildfire of glory spreads. This is why your obedience matters. When you burn, others find courage to burn too. When you shine, others recognize the light they were always meant to carry. You are not just a torchbearer, you are a spark for revival. And yet, being a torchbearer is not easy. Fear consumes. Fear refine. Fire isolates. Carrying the torch means surrendering your comfort for the sake of your calling. It means enduring the heat of criticism, the weight of misunderstanding, the loneliness of standing apart. But it also means walking in authority, shaping atmospheres, and watching darkness retreat before you. Chosen one. Picture the world as a vast night. Cities shrouded in despair. Families weighed down by hopelessness. Hearts lost in confusion. Into this night, God releases torchbearers, ordinary vessels carrying extraordinary fire. You are one of them. The places you step into are not random, they are assignments. Every room you enter shifts because your torch illuminates what was hidden. You may not always see the impact, but know this: darkness sees you clearly. The moment you arrive, its grip loosens. The moment you speak, its lies falter. The moment you pray, its chain crack. This is the power of a torchbearer, not in eloquence or perfection, but in fire. Chosen one. Embrace this identity. Do not hide your flame to make others comfortable. Do not fear being too bright. The world is starving for light, and you were chosen to provide it. Walk boldly, for your torch is not fragile, it is eternal. Its fire will outlast storms. Its glow will reach nations. Its blaze will announce the glory of God wherever you go. Rise, torchbearer. The night is vast, but your flame is stronger. Chosen one. The moment of sealing has come. You are not just called, you are being crowned with glory. Heaven is placing its mark upon you. A seal that no enemy can erase. A crown that no hand can steal. This is not temporary recognition, it is eternal confirmation of who you are. This crown is invisible to human eyes, yet undeniable in the spirit. It carries weight, not of gold or silver, but of destiny itself. When heaven seals you, it is declaring before all creation, this one belongs to me. No trial, no lieu, no power can overturn that decree. The Apostle John recorded in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 11, I am coming soon. Hold on to what you have, so that no one will take your crown. Chosen one. Do you see the weight of those words? The crown is already yours, but you must guard it. It is not made of gold and jewels, but of obedience, endurance, and faith refined in fire. Every trial you have endured has been shaping this crown. Every tear has polished it. Every scar has engraved it with eternal meaning. Picture a sculptor at work. A block of stone begins shapeless, rough, unremarkable. Yet with every strike of the chisel, beauty emerges. At first, the strikes seem harsh, even destructive. But in time, the masterpiece is revealed. That is your story. The strikes of life were never random. They were chiseling your crown of glory. And now, beloved, let me speak from my heart. If this message is a mirror of your journey, do not keep it to yourself. Like a river, light flows best when it is shared. When you like this message, it is as if you are saying, yes, I receive the crown. When you share it, you are passing a torch, letting others discover their crown too. When you subscribe, it is like returning to the well again and again. staying connected to the stream of living words that keep your spirit nourished. And if heaven stirs your heart to donate, know this: you are not just giving money, you are placing jewels into crowns. Every seed you sow becomes another tool for sculpting, another resource for shaping chosen ones into their destiny. It is not obligation, it is partnership. You are helping heaven place crowns on heads that had forgotten they were royalty. Chosen one. Think of a vineyard once more. The vine does not drink its own fruit. It exists to pour life into others. In the same way, your engagement, your like, your share, your gift is fruit pressed into wine for others who are thirsty. What you release today may become the very drink that revives someone else's weary spirit. And I ask you gently, but with conviction, leave your voice here. Comment below what this crown means to you. Maybe it is restoration. Maybe it is dignity returned. Maybe it is purpose renewed. Your words may be the spark another chosen one needs to realize their head, too, is meant to be lifted. Chosen one, do not minimize this crown. It is not symbolic fluff. It is spiritual reality. Crowns are recognition in heaven's courts that you overcame what tried to bury you. They are marks of distinction that say, this one stood when others fell. This one believed when others doubted. This one carried light when darkness pressed in. The world may see nothing on your head, but the unseen realm sees clearly. Angels honor it. Demons fear it. Heaven celebrates it. And one day, when eternity unfolds, that crown will shine visibly for all to see. You will lay it at the feet of the one who gave it, and it will testify that your life was not in vain. But until that day, you must carry it in spirit. Carry it with humility, with boldness, with gratitude. Protect it from compromise. Guard it from distraction. Do not allow anyone to convince you that you are crownless. You are sealed, chosen, and destined for glory. Beloved, let this truth strengthen you. Your crown is not fragile. It will not slip. It will not tarnish. It will not fade. It has been forged in trials, anchored in faith, sealed by the Spirit. Walk with your head lifted high, for heaven itself has placed its mark upon you. Chosen one. This is not the end of your journey, it is the beginning of a new chapter. Step forward, wearing the seal of glory. Not as a burden, but as a beacon. Shine, so that others may see. Stand, so that others may be strengthened. Live so that heaven's crown upon your head becomes a testimony that inspires many. Chosen one. The time of reversal is near. Every injustice you endured, every betrayal you suffered, every season of silence that seemed endless, none of it was wasted. Heaven has been recording every moment, and the scales that once felt so uneven are about to shift. What was meant for harm is being transformed into testimony. You may not see it yet, but heaven has been working behind the scenes. The very things the enemy used to humiliate you are being turned into the very things that will vindicate you. What they whispered in secret will be reversed in public. What they plotted in darkness will be overturned in light. The reversal is like a seed breaking through the soil. For a long time it looks buried, forgotten, hidden beneath pressure, but suddenly, without warning, green shoots appear, and what was concealed becomes undeniable. Chosen one, your seed of suffering is sprouting. and soon the harvest will be visible for all to witness. Think of tides pulled by the moon. They recede, pulling everything back, exposing emptiness. Yet when the tide returns, it comes stronger, fuller, carrying treasures once hidden beneath the surface. In the same way, your losses are only temporary withdrawals. Heaven's tide is turning, and what was withheld is returning multiplied into your hands. The writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5 remind us, "Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning." Chosen one, your night has been long. The tears have seemed endless, but the morning is on the horizon, and joy is preparing to visit your house. You did not suffer without purpose. The night season trained you, purified you, and now heaven is declaring the dawn. Think of Joseph, sold by his own brothers into slavery, falsely accused, imprisoned, forgotten by men. For years, it seemed injustice had won. But when the reversal came, it came swiftly. One moment he was in chains, the next he was seated in the palace. His testimony was not, "The injustice destroyed me," but, "God used it to position me." No, that is your story. You have endured lies, rejection, and loss. But when the reversal arrives, it will not simply restore what was taken, it will elevate you beyond what you imagined. Heaven does not repay in equal measure, it multiplies. Where you sowed in tears, you will reap in songs of joy. Beloved, remember how the cross itself looked like defeat. The enemies of Christ thought they had won. The crowd mocked. The disciples scattered. The sky darkened. Yet the third day announced a reversal that changed eternity. Death itself was turned into victory. That same power is at work in your life, preparing to turn ashes into beauty. Chosen one, hold firm. The reversal is often preceded by the fiercest pressure. The enemy rages hardest when he knows his grip is slipping. Do not mistake the intensity of your current battle as evidence of abandonment. It is the birth pangs of breakthrough. Morning always feels darkest just before the light breaks. Consider Job, who lost everything in a storm of affliction: family, wealth, health, even the support of friends. Yet when the reversal came, the latter days of his life were greater than the former. Double portion replaced loss. Honor replaced shame. That is the rhythm of God's justice. Suffering never has the final word. Chosen one, hear this clearly. Heaven will not allow your story to end in defeat. You are stepping into a season where what was whispered about you will be overturned by what God proclaims over you. The accusations will wither, but the vindication will stand. You will walk into rooms where your name was slandered and see those same mouths silenced by the evidence of God's favor on your life. Do not let bitterness take root as you wait. The reversal is not about proving your enemies wrong. It is about proving God faithful. If you make vengeance your goal, you miss the point. The true beauty of reversal is not just that you rise, it is that you rise transformed. No longer bound by resentment, but carrying a heart that testifies of grace. Chosen one, every tear has been counted, every injustice recorded, every prayer stored. Heaven wastes nothing. The betrayal you thought broke you actually positioned you. The rejection you thought ruined you actually refined you. And the silence you thought meant absence actually meant preparation. The morning is closer than you realize. Joy is on its way. The story is about to shift. And when it does, you will look back on the night and say, it was worth it. Because the dawn has come. Elle, chosen one. Rest in this truth. The reversal is not a possibility, it is a promise. Chosen one. The moment of unveiling has come. You are no longer standing in shadows, no longer defined by battles, no longer hidden beneath the weight of misunderstanding. You rise now, not in your own strength, but in the authority of the one who chose you before time began. Heaven's seal is upon you, and nothing on earth or in hell can revoke it. You have been through valleys, fires, storms, and deserts. Every step was shaping you into this moment. What once felt like breaking was actually building. What once looked like loss was actually preparation. You are emerging as unshakable, unstoppable, a living testimony that chosen ones cannot be defeated. The Apostle Paul declared in his letter to the Philippians, chapter 1, verse 6, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. And, chosen one, the work is not finished yet, but it will be. God does not abandon what he begins. The process may have stretched you. The journey may have bruised you. But the completion is guaranteed. You are not unfinished. You are unfolding. Every day reveals another layer of the masterpiece you are becoming. Think of a mountain rising from the earth. Its summit is not built overnight. Centuries of pressure, tectonic shifts, storms, and erosion shape its majesty. In the same way, your life has been lifted by pressure, carved by storms, refined by time. Now you stand tall, immovable, a mountain that testifies to endurance and divine design. Chosen one, your story is a beacon. Others will look at your scars and find healing. They will hear your testimony and find courage. They will see your endurance and believe in their own breakthrough. You are not chosen just for yourself. You are chosen to be a torch, a mirror, a witness of hope in a world drowning in despair. Do not despise the weight of this calling. It is not a burden, but a crown. You were chosen for this generation, this season, this exact hour. Your light was reserved for a time such as this, and though darkness still rages, it cannot overcome the flame you now carry openly. Beloved, the path ahead will not always be easy, but it will always be victorious. Challenges might come, but they will not undo you. Storms may rise, but they will not sink you. Weapons may form, but they will not prosper. You are unshakable because you are sealed. You are unstoppable because you are chosen. Think of an eagle soaring above storms. While other birds hide, the eagle rides the wind, using the storm itself to lift higher. That is your future. Where others fear turbulence, you will rise upon it. Where others retreat, you will advance. Where others fall, you will endure. Chosen one, lift your head. The season of hiding is over. The time of doubt is done. You are unveiled, established, anchored in identity, and crowned in glory. Nothing can steal what heaven has placed upon you. Nothing can erase what eternity has written over your name. You are unstoppable. You are unshakable. You are God's chosen one, marked, sealed, and sent to shine in this world with a fire that will not die. Beloved, pause here and let this truth anchor deep into your spirit. You are chosen. These words were never empty echoes. They were living fire sent to remind you of who you are. From the first section until now, heaven has been weaving a tapestry of your story, tears and trials, victories and visions, all culminating in this undeniable truth. You were never ordinary. You are God's chosen one. Before birth, you were set apart. Through storms, you were refined. In rejection, you were redirected. At the edge of despair, you were upheld. Every chapter of your journey has been proof that heaven's hand has never left you. You were marked for destiny before the foundations of the earth. Chosen one. Take courage. The road ahead will demand boldness, but you are equipped. Your scars are not liabilities, they are credentials. Your fire is not weakness, it is evidence of glory. You are called to walk with authority, to live with purpose, to shine with a brilliance that pierces even the deepest shadows. So rise now. Walk as one crowned, as one sealed, as one unstoppable. Heaven looks upon you with delight. The earth awaits your light, and eternity celebrates the unveiling of God's chosen one. Go forth unshaken, unstoppable, unafraid, for you are His, and that truth will never change.